Today, I'm in East Africa with a CPAR tour, and it's an absolute joy to see East Africa in its finest. The wonderful animals, the wonderful terrain, and the people. And at the same time, see the good work that CPAR does in this region.
Well, I am on the Ngorongoro Plains, right next to the Serengeti Plains. And Serengeti, we were told yesterday, it means endless prairie. And as a Western Canadian who loves the prairies, I was so taken with what has been kept here. It hasn't been farmed, it hasn't been broken up, it's been left for the animals, and there's so much respect from Tanzanians to their land, and you can't help but feel that deep connection and pride that they have in their country.
I would say the highlights of the trip are obviously seeing all the animals and the landscape of Africa and getting to know Africa. The safaris have been unbelievable and far exceeded my expectations. And the trip to the school to see the CPAR projects was one of the highlights of my trip. I loved the kids, and it was so nice to see that sort of how how donations are put into action and the team that's involved with them. You know, when you give to a charity, you hear sort of roughly about where money goes, but to see how it's benefiting the people on the ground level is just amazing.
Seeing those kids so happy.
At the school?
At the school. I just loved it.
And you really bonded with them. You had a great time.
I know. It was so good. And seeing the animals, we haven't stopped. So it's just that one day after another, such a good trip.
It feels like we're just sort of in a very magical place. As I remember driving down into the crater, just felt like you were entering a magical place with all of the animals, and it's been really pretty overwhelming and certainly exceeded our expectations in terms of the beautiful country. It's just a beautiful country.
You know, I think the compelling thing for me was the ability to see some of the projects in Tanzania. Yes, I've been on this safari before, although I would say you never see the same thing twice, and it's always absolutely a miracle what you're able to observe in terms of, you know, the natural behavior. But the ability to go into see some of the projects that CPAR has been involved with a long time, and others that are starting up the ultrasound program, the hopes and aspirations that the project is contributing to it.
Well, I suppose I've been involved with CPAR for some years now, and it was a great opportunity and a privilege to have the opportunity to come out and see what CPAR does. Early days, I wanted to support a program, an association that really had boots on the ground. And what my research showed me was CPAR, although it was a relatively small organization, it really did sort of hit above its level from a funding point of view, but also more the fact that it is involved in participation. So it participates with the programs that are in Ethiopia and now Tanzania.
I think the most rewarding part was going to visit a school where a water project had been undertaken and completed, and health centers, and Umatu, where the focus is on treating, educating around HIV/AIDS.
Well, you know, you can read all about the reports and the newsletters and everything, but just being here, seeing the impact that CPAR does, talking with the staff, how they appreciate what little we do and compared to what they do. But just seeing it was the most amazing thing. Going to the schools,
That was a highlight.
yeah,
To
the
see
schools.
those children were just so delightful, and their little faces, and so heartwarming to know that we have some effect in providing them with clean water and private washrooms for boys and girls, which is so important for them. But those faces and the joy that they gave us, surrounding us with their love and their little hands reaching out to us and their big, beautiful smiles, it was just so touching.
The actual communities where the projects are being implemented is also been a very special part of the trip.
And the
Very
care,
special.
the care for the mums and the babies, and so being able to visit the maternity wards and was just really important for us, and that we can provide necessary equipment to CPAR, which is that is a wonderful thing to see. Yes.
I think because there is the opportunity to actually dig a little bit deeper than one might if you were just on a safari. I mean, the safari adventure in itself, of course, is a fabulous experience, but to be able to kind of have that sense that you've got to know the communities a little bit where you're visiting has certainly been a special component.
Understanding and the cultural understanding that CPAR has, and patience, and just it's a mutually nurturing atmosphere.
Oh, absolutely. I was overwhelmed with the work that CPAR is doing in Tanzania. The AIDS education, particularly, as well as the kind of boots to the ground in the healthcare clinics, the outreach that they're trying to instigate for the farther away regions. It was all very, very eye-opening, very interesting.
I'll continue to support CPAR, and I'm glad to see the work they've done, and I know my money is going to good use.
Visiting the school, actually, CPAR did go visit, I guess it's called a primer school here. That was very interesting. They're doing a water harvesting project there, and working with the school building latrines so that the girls have privacy, so that they can continue to go to school all through the month. That was very interesting. And of course, the safaris.
The ability to meet others who also have this incredible commitment to reaching out, to understanding how important it is to think larger than ourselves and our own lives, and to stick with a program, stick with an organization. So I think if anyone comes on this trip, they're going to find that they'll meet other wonderful, wonderful Canadians, and just understand what a rich network CPAR actually has within Canada, and how that network extends into Africa.
Would you recommend this trip to other people, particularly traveling as, this is a CPAR trip, that you could do a safari in any way, but would you recommend doing this trip particularly to others?
I would definitely recommend this trip. I think that it gave the trip a lot more meaning. I think we had a chance to meet people who live in Africa better than if you were just on a safari organized by a tour group. And I think it also made me understand a situation in Africa a little bit more. So I think I felt like I participated more in African life than I would have if I had just done a regular safari tour.
Absolutely. It was terrific. I mean, it was one of the greatest trips of my lifetime, and I'm very glad I did it.
Absolutely would recommend it. I would actually go on it again if there was different projects or in a different country. I would for sure go on a CPAR trip again to see what CPAR is involved with, as well as whatever other adventures they plan.
She actually said I think we were in the hospital, I can work here. I want to work here. It'd be so much fun.
So cool.